Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Monday, the 19th of September. Indian PM Modi holds strategic meeting day after deadly attack in an army base. Baloch leaders claim thousands are victims of Pakistan's kill and dump policy. And on Constitutional Day, Nepal Prime Minister favours amendments to appease warring groups. And now for all the details. A day after the deadly terror attack at an army base near its disputed border with Pakistan, Prime Minister Narendra Modi called an emergency meeting of his top aides. 18 soldiers died in the attack. A report.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday chaired a high-level meeting with top ministers and officials in the wake of the terror attack at an army brigade headquarters in India's northern Uri sector. The meeting was attended by Interior Minister Rajnath Singh, Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar and Finance Minister Arun Jaitley, along with National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, Army Chief Dalbir Singh Suhag and other senior officials. According to sources, India will raise the issue of cross-border terrorism and will take steps to isolate Pakistan at international forum. Indian government will also present all actionable evidences to Islamabad and if required at international bodies.
इस चीज को करने के लिए ठंडे दिमाग से सोच समझकर रणनीति के तहत काम करना चाहिए। मुझे पूरी आशा है कि जो हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने बोला उसके ऊपर जरूर कुछ न कुछ होगा। सर कल
Meanwhile, the country mourns the death of 18 soldiers who were killed in the attack. 4 terrorists, which India claimed belonged to the Pakistan-based terror outfit Jaish-e-Mohammed, carried out the attack at the army base in Uri sector of northern Jammu and Kashmir province on early Sunday morning. All 4 terrorists were gunned down by the army personnel in a 3-hour-long gun battle.
While the top leadership in India discussed the next plan of action, world leaders condemned the brutal attack on Indian army base in northern Jammu and Kashmir province.
A number of world leaders have condemned the attack on the Indian army in Jammu and Kashmir's Uri base, in which 18 soldiers were killed. United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon and the United States too extended solidarity with the subcontinent and expressed support for fight against terrorism. Meanwhile, Afghan President Ashraf Ghani rebuked the attack, saying terrorism is a threat to the security of the South Asian region and the world, and a joint regional and international strategy is needed to fight the menace of terror. Exiled Kashmiri leader and visitors from Pakistan also reproved the act of terrorism on Indian soil.
इंसान को उनसे कत्ल करना मना है। इस्लाम में शदीद मना है, नहीं मारना चाहिए।
कि गुज़श्ता 30 सालों से एक कश्मीर के अंदर एक प्रॉक्सी वॉर लड़ी जा रही है और जो रिलीजियस मोटिवेटेड एक्सट्रीमिस्ट ग्रुप्स हैं जो फंडेड एंड सपोर्टेड बाय पाकिस्तान हैं वो तो अक्सर कार्रवाइयाँ करते रहते हैं। कभी उनके निशाना सिविलियंस बनते हैं, कभी फौजी बनते हैं।
Senior Indian politicians have called for strong action against Pakistan for the attack, but the neighbouring country has denied allegations. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has vowed punishment for those involved behind the deadly attack.
Moving on, the growing number of Chinese nationals across Pakistan due to the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor or CPEC has led to apprehensions among the locals. Rising level of unemployment, poverty and exploitation of resources are the main causes of concern.
The increasing Chinese presence in Pakistan due to the construction of the highly publicized China-Pakistan Economic Corridor or CPEC, especially in the illegally occupied territories of Gilgit-Baltistan and Pakistan-administered Kashmir, has led to growing concern about unemployment and large-scale displacement of locals. Despite being the gateway of the multi-billion-dollar project, the investment in power projects for Gilgit-Baltistan, which is faced with acute power shortage, is next to negligible. Even in Pakistan-administered Kashmir, the total investment in power projects is only $1.8 billion, the least among the other provinces of Pakistan. Apart from disproportionate distribution of funds, presence of Chinese workers has left the locals without jobs, hampering their economic development. The highest number of Chinese nationals has been reported from northeastern Punjab province at 3,754, with allotment of 6,364 security personnel for their safety.
Anywhere between 10 to 15,000 Chinese will be present there. And on top of that, there will be security measures for the Chinese that will also involve the Chinese national as well. So we believe that it will lead to a situation in Gilgit-Baltistan where I think local people will feel threatened and intimidated, and with the passage of time they will be struggling and competing with the Chinese for jobs and other services, and it is going to impact the local demography in a big way.
Gwadar Port in Pakistan's least developed province of Balochistan plays a central role in the project. However, it has been allotted a total of 8 projects as compared to 176 in Punjab, 103 in Sindh and 19 in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. The federal government has provided Balochistan, Pakistan-administered Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan the least opportunity for development through CPEC, forcing the people to reel under poverty and underdevelopment.
In a recent report, Pakistan authorities have stated that over 1,000 bodies were recovered across southwestern province of Balochistan in 6 years. But Baloch leaders claim that the numbers are much higher and many people are still missing and could meet the same fate.
Pakistan's National Action Plan in its report had stated that more than 940 bullet-ridden corpses were recovered from southwestern Balochistan in Pakistan in the past 6 years, indicating the worsening security situation in the province. Of these, around 498 dead bodies were members of ethnic Baloch community, which time and again has accused law enforcement agencies for carrying out genocide against the community. The Baloch leaders and activists claim that the number presented by the authorities is quite less and thousands of Baloch people have been victims of Pakistan's kill and dump policy.
देखिए 1000 तो उन्होंने खुद एक्नॉलेज किया है, लेकिन नंबर जो है 10,000 से ज़्यादा है। ये 2010 को जो किल एंड डंप की पॉलिसी पाकिस्तान ने अपनाई, उसमें अब तक उन्होंने बहुत ज़्यादा हज़ारों से मतलब 10,000 से ज़्यादा लोगों को उठा के गायब किया, पहले टॉर्चर किया, फिर उसके बाद उनको मारा। और इसी तरह 24,000 से ज़्यादा लोग जो है मिसिंग हैं और हमें ये शक है कि उनको भी मार के फेंक दिया जाएगा।
Mass graves have been recovered in Balochistan over the years. Baloch community has accused Pakistan for resorting to abuse, torture and human rights violations to crush the community's demand for independence from Pakistan.
Moving on to news from Myanmar, Myanmar's military court has sentenced 7 of its personnel for 5 years in prison with hard labor for killing of 5 men in Mongyo in northern Shan province in June this year. Out of the 7 convicted personnel, 4 are military officers. The incident took place on June 25th when villagers of Mongyo village claimed that soldiers rounded up dozens of men and took 5 men away. The bodies of the victims were dug up from shallow graves in a roadway ditch few days later. The victims' family members have, however, stated that the verdict, with its minimal prison terms, fell far short of delivering justice for their loved ones. Meanwhile, Nepal on Monday marked Constitution Day on the first anniversary of promulgation of the Constitution. On this day, Prime Minister Pushp Kamal Dahal stated that the Constitution can mature only after timely amendments to cater to needs of the people. He also added that the Constitution must be open to amendments as the Madhesi-based communities are still dissatisfied with the existing one. The Madhesi leaders hope that the new government will fulfill the demands of the ethnic communities and minorities.
ये सरकार ने कहा है कि हम मांग को पूरा करेंगे और संविधान लागू कराने की दिशा में हम कदम आगे बढ़ाएंगे। हमें शंका और विश्वास दोनों के साथ हम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, लेकिन हमने एक बात नहीं छोड़ी, वह बात है कि हम आंदोलन में हैं और जब तक हमारी मांग को पूरी नहीं की जाएगी हम आंदोलन में रहेंगे।
A bike rally demanding stricter laws against animal cruelty was organized in India's eastern West Bengal province. People gathered in large numbers in support of the cause.
A bike rally in India's eastern Siliguri city saw participation of hundreds of animal lovers to demand stern laws to curb cases of animal cruelty in the country. It included various civil society groups and residents of Siliguri. The rally was part of a worldwide movement called India Unites for Animals, or IUFA, that demands immediate amendment of Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act and heavier fines with at least 5 years of imprisonment for offenders.
This movement is basically to change the laws, cruelty laws for animals in India. But now we want new and stronger laws in India, and that change will only come if the entire youth of India, all the animal lovers of India come together.
Similar rallies were held across 50 cities in India to step up the pressure on the government. Animal Welfare Bill was tabled in the Parliament in 2011 and amended in 2014, but it hasn't seen the light of the day.
In an initiative, the Cricket Association for the Blind in India has launched a blind women's cricket team. The move came after the success of the men's team, who will train their female counterparts.
India launched its blind women's cricket team in Bengaluru city of southern Karnataka province. The 41-member team was launched by Cricket Association for the Blind in India, or CABI. The decision came after the success of the men's team, which is the only blind team in the world to have won all 3 championships, the T20 World Cup, One Day International World Cup and the T20 Asia Cup.
Mainly we need more support to recognize this kind of cricket, because for blind boys cricket, after winning T20 World Cup in 2001 only, so we got some recognition, getting little bit of support from the government. So definitely blind women cricketers, they'll play their role, and definitely they'll get good support in the future.
Affiliated to the World Blind Cricket Council, the CABI is the sports wing of a non-profit that organizes blind cricket across the country. Blind cricket relies on common use of the sweep shot in order to provide maximum chance of the bat hitting the ball.
Well, that's the way towards in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. Indian PM Modi holds strategic meeting day after deadly attack in an army base. Baloch leaders claim thousands are victims of Pakistan's kill and dump policy. And on Constitutional Day, Nepal Prime Minister favors amendments to appease warring groups. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on facebook.com/SAsia Newsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsia Newsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.